Good afternoon, children. Welcome to 6th Standard Science online class. Today we are going to discuss the 4th unit in chemistry. So far, we have discussed the action of heat on matter. On heating, the matters will be expansion. It will undergo expansion. We have discussed, and also changes of states we have discussed. Am I right, children? Now we are going to concentrate on the chemical change. Chemical change. Now, how heat creates a chemical change in matters. Let us discuss. On being heated, many substances undergo a chemical change. Let us discuss the interesting example of the burning of candle. Okay, burning of candle. How can we do this? For this, you have to take a candle and light it and watch. Okay, you will observe the following things. What you will observe? The wax near the wick melts and a part of it flows down, isn't it? And solidifies. A change in state occurs. A part of the wax melts, vaporizes. Again, a change in state. The vapors catch fires and burn to form smooth carbon dioxide and water vapors. So it is a chemical change. So what actually happening? The vapors, the vapor which is released, that catches fires and they form the smooth carbon dioxide and water vapors. Am I right, children? And when the candle has burned out, collect the solidified wax and weigh it. After the flame is put off, collect the remaining wax and weigh it. The solidified wax weighs less than the original wax of the candle. So you can find out the weight of the full candle before burning will be more than the one after, that is obtained after burning. Okay. So this is because some wax has burnt out. So some wax has, from this we can conclude some wax has burnt out. Okay, children, do you understood this? So a chemical change has occurred. This proves that a chemical change has occurred. So that some amount of wax has been converted into carbon dioxide and water vapor while burning. So a new substance is formed. So it is a chemical change. Is it clear, children? Yes. So do all substances undergo the three kinds of changes on being heated? Will all the substances undergo this expansion, change in state and chemical changes on being heated? No, there are many substances which do not. You can take a look at the following example. When a piece of paper, when heated, expands too little to be noticed and then undergoes a chemical change. So, paper also expands, but we can't see that. Obviously, it skips the change in state. That the change of state is not possible. Okay. Then when heated alone, an element does not undergo a chemical change. By heating alone, the a substance will not undergo the chemical change. Only in the presence of another substance, it can undergo a chemical change. See, by burning the candle, actually what we are doing, the candle reacts with the atmospheric oxygen, atmospheric air, that is carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere, reacts with this wax and it forms water vapors and water and another things. That's why the chemical change occurs. By heating alone, the occurrence of chemical change is not possible. Do you understood this, children? Hope you have understood. This is the end of the lesson. Hope you all have thoroughly understood this lesson, children. So today we are going to revise the lesson 4 in physics objective questions. Okay, children, next week onwards we are going to write our exam now. So let us do our revision properly and sincerely. Okay, choose the correct option. Which of the following increases friction? Which of the following increases friction? The answer is treads on a tire. Treads on the tire. What do you mean by treads? The treads means the marks on the tire? No, that is because it is there to increase the friction. The second question, in which of the following cases is friction a disadvantage to us? So, among running, braking, writing with a pencil, are parts of machine rubbing against each other. In all the first three cases, friction is very useful. But in the last one, if the rubbing of the machines happening continuously, it will spoil the machine. So, it's the answer. Parts of machine rubbing against each other is the disadvantage of friction. Which of the following is the least? So third one, static friction, limiting friction, kinetic friction and rolling friction. What's your answer? Of course it is rolling friction is the least when you compare with the others. Fourth question, which of the following is the greatest? Static friction, limiting friction, kinetic friction and rolling friction. Here limiting friction is the greatest among all. Okay children. Okay. Now this is about choose the correct answer. Now we will concentrate on the fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. First one, the tension in a string is an example of dash force. What type of force it is? It is a contact force. Okay, it is a contact force. CONTACT, contact. Okay. Then the next one, the force of friction is dash on wet surfaces. So on wet surfaces the friction will be because on wet floor you will fall down very easily, right? So it is less. LESS, less. Third one, when you walk or run, you push your foot. What you are actually doing? You are pushing your foot backward. BACKWARD, backward. Fourth one, friction is large for dash surfaces and small for dash surfaces. Now only we have discussed. For wet surfaces, that is smooth surfaces, no, that is their friction is less, isn't it? In tiles and you can slip very easily, but in cement floor that will not happen often. Am I right? So friction is large for rough surfaces and small for smooth surfaces. Rough, what is the spelling for rough? ROUGH, rough. Smooth, SMOOTH, smooth. Fifth one, friction is much less in dash than in sliding. So when you compare with sliding, the friction is much less in rolling, ROLLING. Okay, the next one, materials used to reduce friction are called. So some materials, some things are used to reduce the friction. What are they called? They are called as lubricants. They are called as it is also shown in the advertisements, no? So what are lubricants? These lubricants are the things or materials which helps to reduce the friction. Okay, so lubricants, LUBRICANTS, lubricants. Is it clear children? Hope you understood. Yes. Now, true or false? The same lesson, true or false? Friction acts only when two surfaces move over each other. So, when friction will work? Only when two surfaces slide or move over each other, friction will happen, isn't it? So, the statement is true. Second question. Rolling friction is less than sliding friction. So, now only we have studied. Rolling friction is comparatively less than the sliding friction. So, it is also true. Okay, children. Third question. No contact force acts on a bucket when it is being pulled out of a well using a rope. So, you know how to draw water from well. So, imagine that situation. You are using the rope. You are pulling the rope. By that, the bucket also get pulled out, isn't it? So, does the contact force or non-contact force work there? You are touching the rope. You are applying the force. So it is in contact, no? So what type of force it is? It is very good. It is a non. It is a contact force, but they are given a, they have given non-contact, no contact force. They have given, no. So the answer, the statement is false. Okay, children. Now the next question, fourth one. The force of friction always opposes motion or the tendency of motion. So what is the tendency? What is the activity or nature of the friction? It will always opposes. It will stops the motion or the tendency of motion. If any object tends to move, it will be stopped by the friction. It will be stopped by the friction. Okay, friction is the one which is not easily make the object to move easily. That is friction, isn't it? So the statement is true. Okay, children. Now, fifth one. All forces are contact forces. All forces are contact forces. Is it true? No. All forces cannot be contact forces, right? Gravitational force is the best example. The falling down of ripened fruit from the trees, the falling down of leaves, that is also what, gravitational force. Without touching the tree, without touching anything, it just simply falls down on its own, right? So that is the uh, gravitational force. That is the non-contact force. But here the statement is given as all forces are non-contact forces. So forces are two types. One is contact and another one is non-contact. So all forces cannot be contact forces, and similarly all forces cannot be non-contact forces. So two types of forces exist. So the statement is false. Okay. The sixth question. A boat is a streamlined to reduce the resistance to motion offered by water. So a boat is streamlined. Streamlined means what? Have you seen the shape of the fish body structure of the fish? It is like a streamlined body structure. Okay, so this streamlined, the boat also has the same shape of the fish in order to reduce the resistance to motion. So water, actually naturally water will uh, offer a resistance. Resistance means opposition force. Opposition force for the objects to move in water. That opposition force should be overcome by the boat so that it can travel in water. So how can we do that? By using this streamlined structure, the boat can move easily in water. So this streamlined structure will help the boat to move easily in water. So what is the statement? A boat is streamlined to reduce the resistance to motion offered by water. Then the statement is true. Do you understood this true or false, children? Hope you have listened to the revision very well. Also learn this lesson, exercise well and write a test. Get corrected from your parents and submit and report in the group without fail. Send me the copies of your test which is corrected by your parents. Okay, children. Thank you. Meet you in the next class.